lately it feels like the loudest part of this whole AI conversation is this anxiety around jobs. You hear it everywhere, right? In the news, around the virtual water cooler.
Oh, absolutely. It's completely understandable. I mean, think about history.
Right.
Any big tech shift, people worry about work. It's just, well, human nature when things change fast.
Right. What if we're kind of fixated on this idea of a fight, humans versus AI? And maybe we're missing something bigger.
Like what exactly?
Like, what if it's really about partnership? An indispensable one, actually.
Yeah.
Where AI's strengths and our uniquely human abilities really complement each other.
Okay, I see where you're going. Synergy, not just conflict.
Exactly. So that's what we want to dig into today. Our, let's call it mission, is to get past those headlines, those immediate worries, and really explore how humans and AI can work together. Maybe spark some fresh thinking for you.
And to guide us, we're looking closely at the ideas in Pereira's article, IAE Humanos. Her take provides a really helpful way to frame this whole thing constructively.
Yeah, it does. So to really get a handle on how big this shift is, we kind of need to look at the global scene first.
Yeah. And you can't really talk about global AI without mentioning Kai-Fu Lee, a real visionary in the space.
Definitely. His book, AI Superpowers, the one about China, Silicon Valley, and the New World Order, it just lays bare the, intense global race in AI development, especially between the U.S. and China.
Yeah, it really hammers home how fast this is all moving. It's not some far-off future thing. It's happening, well, right now.
It really is.
But what's really cool about Lee's work, I think, is that he doesn't just stop at the competitive stuff. He's got this other book, AI 2041, 10 Visions for Our Future. Co-wrote it with Qifan Chen.
Oh, yeah. How's that one different?
Well, it's much more imaginative. Instead of just data points and forecasts, they use science fiction stories, little vignettes, to show how AI might actually weave into our lives, education, work, health, even just hanging out.
Huh. That sounds way more engaging than just charts. Makes me think a bit of Black Mirror, maybe?
Yeah.
But I guess the vibe is different.
Totally different vibe. Yeah, Black Mirror often goes dark, explores the dystopia, right? But AI 2041, and remember, they wrote it during the pandemic, it feels more balanced. It shows the potential upsides, the cool possibilities, but also the challenges. It really pushes you to think proactively,
Mm-hmm. Like, what kind of future do we want to build with this stuff?
Exactly. And well, neuroscience backs this up, doesn't it? Storytelling is just a really powerful way to make these big, complex ideas stick, to make them feel personal.
Okay, so AI is advancing like crazy globally, and we need to think imaginatively about where it's headed. Now, when we look at what AI can actually, do, Pereira's article makes a really critical distinction here.
Yeah, this is key. It's this kind of duality with AI. On one hand, it's absolutely brilliant at optimization.
Optimization, like what specific?
Well, think about processing massive amounts of data super fast, handling payments, scheduling logistics, analyzing market trends. Anything that involves crunching numbers and finding patterns efficiently, that's AI's sweet spot. It just plows through data using algorithms.
Right, the ultimate number cruncher. Perfect for all those repetitive analytical jobs.
Yeah.
But then there's the flip side, the things that still can't really do.
Exactly. And this is where humans shine, like genuine creativity, coming up with truly new ideas, not just, mashing up existing ones based on patterns.
Right. What else?
Complex strategic thinking, going beyond just predicting outcomes based on past data. It's about incorporating that gut feeling, intuition that comes from years of experience, seeing the bigger picture.
The stuff that's hard to quantify.
Right. And maybe the biggest one, empathy. Compassion, that ability to truly connect, understand unspoken needs, lead with real inspiration. AI, as we know it now, is pretty limited there.
So AI walks the logic and analysis, but gets tripped up by the fuzzy stuff emotions, real innovation. That makes sense. Okay, let's tackle the elephant in the room then, job losses.
Yeah, the big fear. It's understandable, but Kai-Fu Lee, he offers a really interesting counter perspective.
Oh, what's his take?
He basically argues that, yeah, AI will automate a lot of the routine analytical tasks, no question. But the jobs needing complex human interaction, empathy, care, real strategic insight, he thinks those will actually become more valuable.
So instead of just seeing AI as taking jobs away, maybe it frees us up for the more human parts of work.
Precisely. Imagine AI handling the basic customer queries, the routine scheduling, the data entry. That frees up people to focus on building real relationships, tackling complex sales that need persuasion and trust, providing that inspiring leadership, thinking up genuinely new strategies.
So the grunt work gets automated.
Right, at least sees that happening. But the critical question, and this is where Marinus Pereira really pushes us, is how do we use that shift? How do we leverage automation to actually value and empower our people in those areas AI can't touch?
You mean like the human connection, the strategy, the empathy?
Exactly. Her hope, and I think it's a crucial one, is that companies invest in their teams, make them more strategic, more resilient, more empathetic, instead of just looking for ways to replace them.
Which leads to this whole issue of companies maybe just seeing AI as a way to cut costs.
Right.
That feels short-sighted.
It can be incredibly short-sighted. If you just focus on slashing costs through automation without investing back into your people, that's a dangerous path. Pereira actually brings up the whole re-engineering mess in the 90s as a warning.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Lots of layoffs didn't always end well.
Not at all. Often disregarded the human factor, the subtle ways organizations actually work. And the long-term fallout wasn't great. Think about it. AI can spot market trends in data, sure, but understanding cultural shifts, seeing a disruption coming based on experience, not just numbers, that's still very human.
Like the blockbuster missing the whole Netflix thing. The data might have shown a slow shift, but maybe human insight could have grasped the scale of it faster.
Exactly that kind of thing. Just cutting jobs without a real vision beyond the next quarter's savings. It's risky.
And Pereira's point is deeper too, isn't it? About the economy.
Yeah, she argues, look, if you have massive unemployment because you automated everything without thinking ahead, who's going to buy all the stuff the economy produces? A consumption-based economy needs people with jobs.
Right. You need human intelligence, not just algorithms. Thinking long-term, creating value, finding new markets, figuring out ethical ways to use this tech.
Precisely. AI is a tool for that strategy, for that creation, but the vision, the purpose, the ethics, that comes from us.
This actually connects to something I saw recently about employee engagement maybe taking a hit.
You might be thinking of the Forbes Brazil piece. Using Gallup data, it showed a recent dip in engagement, yeah. And interestingly, it coincided with this big uptake in generative AI.
So AI is causing the drop.
Well, the article is careful not to say that directly. It's more suggestive. Like how AI is being rolled out might be undermining some key things.
Like what?
Things like feeling you belong, having real human connections at work, feeling like your voice matters. If the implementation makes people feel like, just another interchangeable part.
Yeah, that's not exactly motivating, is it? Feeling like an algorithm could do your job tomorrow?
Not at all. And it really highlights something crucial. The real edge in the AI era won't just be the tech itself. It'll be how well we cultivate and use human intelligence, that mix of empathy, strategy, connection.
So technology should help us be more human, not less.
That's the goal, isn't it? It shouldn't erode trust or teamwork, which puts a massive spotlight on, well, leadership.
Absolutely. Leaders have a huge role in navigating this, making people feel like part of the journey, not just disposable cogs.
It's critical. Pereira's article cites that Gallup finding something like 70% of engagement ties back to the leader's actions and communication. That's huge.
Wow, 70%.
Yeah. So leaders set the direction, right? They decide where the resources go. They need to create that psychological safety, give feedback, support development, keep everyone in the loop. It's fundamentally on them to make sure AI comes in a human-first way. People need to feel valued, see where they fit in all this change.
It's funny, despite all this tech, it feels like we're actually craving connection more, even turning to AI for it sometimes.
That is such a fascinating point. You're probably thinking of the HBR research about people using AI for personal support, virtual therapy, even companionship bots.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of revealing, isn't it? People aren't necessarily against deep interactions through tech. They're actually seeking them out.
Yeah.
Sometimes preferring AI because maybe they feel less judged.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But I guess I can kind of see it. Anonymity, maybe.
Could be, and it points to this distinction the HBR researchers make. They talk about Style 2024 AI. That's the stuff focused mostly on productivity. Your chatbots answering FAQs, automating tasks.
Okay.
Then there's Style 2025. That's the aim for AI that's more empathetic, that understands emotional cues, provides more nuanced support, like those AI companions in the research.
So the AI we mostly have now, the Taskmaster AI, it's missing something.
It seems so. It's not meeting this underlying human need for personal support, for purpose, for connection. There's clearly a demand for that deeper Style 2025 interaction.
So it's not really humans or AI, is it? It's more about how we blend them.
Exactly. The false dilemma dissolves. People are already showing they want connection, even with AI. So the big question for companies, for all of us really, is how do we channel that ethically? strategically.
How do we use tech to boost human connection and development? Lead with wisdom, not just automate more tasks.
Yes. Which brings us right back to where we need to invest.
And according to Pereira, that investment has got to be in people.
Absolutely. Unequivocally. We need to invest in education, teaching people how to actually work with AI effectively. We need to double down on developing those uniquely human skills. Critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, resilience.
And reskilling, right, for the new jobs that will pop up.
Definitely. Reskilling is huge. The whole definition of human capital is shifting. It's not about competing against the machine anymore. It's about collaborating with it, blending AI's analytical power with human wisdom, purpose, compassion. That's the future.
So this future with AI, it's not written in stone. It really depends on what we do now.
Precisely. Those scenarios in Kai-Fu Lee's AI 2041, they're like invitations to think. They show the risks, sure, but also the amazing opportunities.
So we have a choice. We can get bogged down in the fear of being replaced.
Or we can grab the chance, the responsibility really, to build synergy. Let AI handle the processing, the optimization, and let human intelligence focus on innovation, value-driven strategy, empathetic leadership, building a future that works for everyone.
It's not about AI taking over jobs. It's about us using AI to become, well, better at being human, in a way.
Yeah.
More effective, more creative.
That's a great way to put it. The real revolution isn't replacement, it's amplification. Humans amplifying our potential with AI. But that needs a mindset shift, doesn't it?
How so?
Businesses need to think long-term, invest in their people's growth, and individuals. We need to invest in our core human skills and, crucially, learn how to dance with this technology.
Let's hope we can navigate this thoughtfully, Lynn. Combine the best of machine smarts with human insight and heart. Build a future that's not just richer, but fairer, more vibrant, where tech lifts us up,
Couldn't agree more.
And remember, this deep dive drew heavily from the Thinking in IAE Humanos by Pereira. We really encourage you to keep exploring these ideas.
So, thinking about everything we've discussed, what's the one big takeaway you hope people are mulling over after listening?